Hey guys, I have a very special lens to show you today. This is the Panasonic-Leica 42.5mm f1.2 Nocticron. This is the premier portrait lens for the Micro Four Thirds system. This along with the Olympus 45mm f1.2, but obviously I shoot Panasonic G9, so I wanted the dual IS capability and I wanted the aperture ring communication with the body, so I got the Panasonic-Leica version. So let's quickly touch on the technical qualities of this lens, and then I want to launch into the slideshow to show you just what can be done with this lens. I think you'll be very impressed. But the build quality. This lens has a fully metal build all the way from the lens mount to the filter threads. It feels like a good hefty chunk. It's 425 grams, so it's not just overbearing heavy, but it has some presence to it. It has just beautiful engraved markings like all the newer Panasonic Leica lenses. Focus by wire, you get an AF/MF switch and a dual IS. It's an image stabilization switch, so if you turn this off and on, it either turns on all the IS, the sensor and the lens on the Panasonic, or it turns everything off. So that's kind of nice. You have just a one-click adjustment on that. You have 4 clicks between 1.2 and 2, and then third stop between the other aperture values. Get a nice hard stop at 1.2, and then you push it harder to get to A. And A will just throw the control over to the camera body itself. In the front, you have metal 67mm filter threads, have a nice large ultra high refractive index front element, and a quite nice pinch lens cap. Autofocus speed is pretty quick on this lens. I don't really notice it being slower than the f1.7 version, which is pretty impressive considering it has a lot more glass to move around. It's also very quiet. Now, comparing focus, one other thing you'll notice between these two lenses is the minimum of focus distance on this lens is 1.64 feet. It's only 0.98 feet on the 1.7. So if you want a portrait lens that can dabble in some macro, this is probably going to serve you better. So this lens is so famous and so well known in the system and really across systems because kind of like the Zeiss Otis 55mm 1.4, it's one of the few lenses out there that very effectively combines just top-notch technical performance like test shots and test charts with really smooth bokeh and just phenomenal real-world attributes like objective and subjective, because you have a lot of new, very large, very optically corrected prime lenses that when you get them out in the real world, the bokeh maybe can be a little bit harsh, kind of get an onion ring effect. But this lens, it really has some soul to it. It's not sterile. It breathes. You're going to see quickly in these shots. It'll just, I mean, when I was editing these shots on my iPad, it really kind of shocked me, and it kind of made me second guess my plans to move to full frame. The new Panasonic S1 and S1R are pretty tempting as somebody who really likes the format and the system. But anyways, editing these photos on my iPad, I mean, look at this. I'm zooming in here to 100%. You see so much detail. You don't really see chromatic aberration. The sharpness is just tops. But then you look at the bokeh and it's so smooth, and the fact that it's 1.2 on my G9 means I can just lock it on to ISO 100 and shoot with confidence in decent lighting and just get the pinnacle of image quality from the sensor. So let's look at those samples. I hope you enjoyed those samples, and I hope that they kind of show you what this review is about for me. This lens kind of expands the envelope of Micro Four Thirds into the portrait realm, into the fast lenses, the bokeh, all of that. So you're not sacrificing the the portability advantage and the awesome stabilization of Micro Four Thirds and all that, you're kind of you're having your cake and eating it too. But one reason that helped me justify getting this lens and spending all the money for it is the fact that these fast portrait lenses are your money makers. These lenses are used for engagement photos like I have in 2 weeks. I'm taking a coworker's engagement photos, weddings, events, people. It's definitely a people lens, and you can make some money with it in that way. So I think it's good to have the best if you're doing that. If you're getting paid for it, fantastic. So I hope you enjoyed this review. Please check me out on Instagram. I'm at dwarnicki11. And like and subscribe if you like what you see. I have many other lens reviews on my channel. I'll link some at the end of this review if I remember to. All right, guys, as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.